Thank you for joining me and rolling with BJ in the kitchen today. We're going to do some honey garlic chicken thighs. And I've already washed and cleaned the thighs. I'm just doing 7 because I want to cook a different meal tomorrow. So we're just going to season them up right quick with a little garlic powder. Just a little. We don't need a lot. We're going to use pepper. And we're going to use paprika. Okay, the paprika is going to help the chicken thighs brown really pretty. And you guys know I love using paprika. I use paprika on almost everything. Especially when I'm trying to brown something because it just gives such a pretty look. Okay, so I'm not going to put on a rubber glove today, so I'm just going to use this fork to pat this in. Let me cut the fire on our oil. Okay, I cut that on medium high. And I'm going to finish patting this in so we can season the other side. Okay, I'm going to turn them over so we can season the other side. Okay, let me wash my hand right quick. Okay, we're going to start again with this side. A little pepper. And if you don't like pepper, you don't have to use pepper. You could just use the garlic powder and the paprika. And you don't have to use much. I usually have the paprika in the shaker, but I ran out, so I grabbed this package. Actually, I think I'm going to put a little more on the other side before I put them in the pan to brown them. I'm going to pat that in a little. Like I said, I want to turn them over and put a little more paprika on the other side. Well, they look okay. We're going to put these in skinned first. Okay, so yeah, I'm just gonna sprinkle a little bit more. You can put a little more, or you could leave yours with just a little. I happen to prefer a little more. Okay, I'm gonna wash my hands. Be right back. I got it. Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, I washed my fork. Now, just gonna pat that seasoning in while I wait on this oil to get hot. And we're gonna just let them cook in the oil. And we're not using a lot of oil. Okay, I wanted to bring you over here with me while I put them in the oil. Okay, remember, we put them in skin first. Hopefully I can get all 7 of them in this pan. Let me get it. Well, I got one left. I'm not gonna squeeze that one in here. Okay, so after I take one of these out, then I'll put the other one, the last one, in. Okay, so we're going to just leave these and let them brown on each side and cook all the way through. I hope you can see them. Uh-oh, sorry. Okay, well, I'll be back once I get ready to turn them. Okay, I'm checking on the thighs, and they're not quite as brown as I want them to be, but they're getting there. Okay, so I'm gonna let them cook a little while longer on this side, and then I'm gonna turn them over. And I think I'm gonna slide that other one in the middle now. It's enough room. Okay, I'm gonna turn the fire up a little bit since I'm adding another piece of chicken in here. Okay, so now we got all our chicken wings in there. I'm sorry, chicken thighs. And we're just going to let them cook a little while longer, and I'll be back, and we're going to make up the sauce that we're going to add to put on them. Okay, we're going to start making this honey sauce, honey garlic sauce. We're going to add the honey to the pan. We have an educational time as well. That's what you hear in the background. Okay, so I think this is about half a jar of small honey.
Good job.
I had to use.
You find the letter N. N. Excellent. Can you find the letter O?
Okay, so I would say probably about a
Good job.
cup of honey
Can you find the letter
and a half a bottle of soy sauce.
E? Excellent. Yay! Level up. Can you find the jelly?
And you're going to taste it so that you can see if it's to your liking. And here we have 3 tablespoons of ketchup.
Good job. Can you find the gift?
We got to go back and check on those thighs too.
Yay!
So we're going to stir this around and mix it together.
Mouth. Mouth. Good job.
And we're going to put it on the fire in a little while. I don't want to put it on the fire until my chicken thighs get done.
Ooh, try it.
Once you put it on the fire and it start loosening up, then you can taste it to see if you need to add any more honey or any more soy sauce. Just make it to your liking. You know, if you wanted more salty sweet or more sweet honey tasting. I think mine is going to be just right.
You find the pen. Next.
I'm going to put a little more. So we'll say a small bottle of soy sauce. And I'm just going to put half of the small bottle.
X-ray.
Okay, so this was a full bottle. I only used half.
And you find the
And I used probably about a cup or a cup and a half of honey.
excellent.
3 tablespoons of ketchup.
Violin. Violin.
And then we're just going to set this to the side
Good job.
until the thighs get done.
Level up.
Now, I chopped up also, let me put this over to the side.
11.
I chopped up 10 garlic cloves. I'm going to add that to the chicken thighs.
Ooh,
And here is some chicken bouillon. I'm going to add this with water
11.
and just make a little broth to add in the chicken thighs once they get almost done. So I'm going to check on the chicken thighs and I'll be right back.
10. Oh,
It's time to start turning them over. See how they look? If you don't want yours to look this dark, you can turn them over sooner or don't put as much paprika on them. So I got them all turned over except for this one in the middle because this was the last one, but it's almost done as well. So I'm going to let these cook for about 10 more minutes. I'm going to turn this one over in the middle over in about 2 minutes. And I'll be back once these get done. Okay, what I'm about to do is mix. This is about 2 tablespoons. I used 2 of these, 2 tablespoons of heaping chicken bouillon. Just to make my chicken broth, and 1 cup of water. Now I'm gonna put this on the stove and let it come to a boil, and I'm gonna add this to the chicken thighs after they get done. I'm just gonna let them simmer in this and mix my garlic in with this. So once the chicken thighs get done, I'm gonna drain the grease out of the pan, add the chicken broth, and add the garlic cloves that I chopped up. Okay, So I'm going to put this on the stove and let it come to a boil. Okay, I took the grease out, but I want to put them in this deeper pan. So I'm just going to take them out of here. You don't have to do this if you don't want to. I just prefer to put them in a different pan before I put my sauce on them. So I'm going to cut the fire off of this pan. And I'm going to switch them out. It's okay if you take some of the grease with you. Okay, now they're in this pan. I'm so sorry. Give me a second. Once I get the garlic in here in the broth, I'll come back and show you. The broth is boiling right now. Let me take you over here. I'm making a mess. But anyway, okay, so there's the chicken. And here's the broth. So I'm going to cut the broth off. And I'm going to start mixing the broth in with the chicken. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to put the garlic in the skillet with the chicken. And I'm just going to put it in a little space where I can. I'm not going to put it on top of the chicken. I'm just going to put it inside the pan with the chicken. And if you don't want to use this much garlic, you definitely do not have to. You can use about 6 or 7 cloves. I like garlic, so that's why I think I used about 11. But I chopped them up really, really good. So. Okay. So you just want to move the garlic around in there. And let it cook a little. Let me see, can I bring you over here without knocking the camera off? Well, you can't see the garlic really, but it's in there. I'm just going to stir it around a little. And then I'm going to add the broth right now, so you'll be able to see that part. I'm not going to put that much broth in here, just enough to finish cooking my garlic. Let my garlic cook without burning. I don't want the garlic to have a bitter taste to it. So I'm going to cut the fire down on low and just let my garlic finish cooking. And then we're going to start that sauce. We're going to put that sauce on the stove very shortly. So I'm going to put enough broth in here to cook down my garlic. So it's kind of like smothering. I'm going to show you what it looked like very shortly. And I'm going to just let some of this broth cook down with the garlic. And then once I add the sauce, oh my gosh, it's going to be great. I think that's enough broth right there. Okay, let me show you. Okay, here's what it looked like. See the broth and the garlic. So I'm gonna just let this cook on low. See the garlic just floating around in there, cooking, doing its thing. You could add more broth if you want to, or you can leave yours like I have mine. I just want to cook up my garlic. So now we're going to start on this sauce. I'll be right back. Okay, we have the sauce on the stove, and I'm just going to let this come to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, it should be ready to add into the chicken, which is still over here cooking. And notice everything I did around the chicken. I did not put anything on top of the chicken because you want to keep that crisp, hard coating on your chicken, okay? You don't want it to get soggy. So I added the broth around. I added the garlic around, okay, in the little slots. Don't put anything on the top until you're ready to put your sauce. And actually, don't even put your sauce on top when you first put it in. I'll show you. So once this comes to a boil, I'll be back and I'll show you how to add it into the chicken. You want to just keep stirring it to make sure it don't stick. But let it come to a boil. I have my fire on medium high. So I'll be back. And I'm going to cut this down on low, the chicken. Okay, as you can see, it has came to a boil. I want you to see that. I'm going to cut the fire off. Now, I want you to see what the chicken has, how it cooked down. You see how the broth cooked down? So now I'm going to add the sauce in there. Okay, you see that? See, it's still a little juice, but it's thickened up. And I still have it on low fire. And I'm trying to let this cool down some. Once this cool off a little, I'm going to just pour it in. But I'm going to pour it from the side. I'm not going to pour it directly on top. What I'm going to do is after I pour it in, then I'll take a spoon and mix the garlic with the sauce and then start pouring it on top. Okay, let's see. And again, I still have my fire on medium low. I'm sorry, it's on low. It's on low fire. Okay, now I'm going to take a spoon and I'm going to just cover the top of them with the sauce. Then I'm going to cut the fire off and let the sauce thicken up, and then they'll be ready to serve. I'll be back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the final look. I want to thank you so much for rolling with BJ in the kitchen this evening. Please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And the name of this is BJ Humpty Dumpty Garlic Honey Chicken Thighs. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a blessed evening.